Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their rookie quarterback, the latest in a long line of NFL QBs from USC.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play.
That's a good start to the ball game. Maybe a little bit of a tone setter offensively. They come out throwing right away, and it's an early completion and a quick first down.
They go here with a former Lion, DeAndre Swift. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they've got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
And some space here. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line. Well, now hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Here's a 2nd and 5. Now the first carry here for their running back. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A 16-yard touchdown run. And the Bears put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. Well, they were looking to pick up the first down on 3rd and short. They got a little more than they bargained for, finding the end zone as well.
And oftentimes in short yardage situations, you get a lot of defenders stacked near the line of scrimmage, partner. So if you can get past that first wave, there's usually room to roam, and he found it.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears. So the drive there took 6 plays and was polished off by the touchdown run from the 16-yard line. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions now as they get set for their opening drive. They're led onto the field by the former Cal Bear and the #1 overall pick in 2016, Jared Goff.
And at one point, the ascension of Jared Goff was really, really strong. Back-to-back Pro Bowls, took his team to the Super Bowl and came really within one quarter of winning it. But since that time, he's had bouts of inconsistency, and that's been the struggle for him as he tries to get back to the form he showed earlier in his career.
They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Off play action. Here's Goff. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after them early.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Goff now looks to throw. That's caught. It's Sam Laporta. 19 yards there on the pickup. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense. Well, they just watched the other team take the ball downfield and score, so they knew that this drive, this opening drive, was on them. And, boy, that was important to pick up that first down there and keep this one going.
Here's Goff. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
They'll fake the give. Now Goff. And that's incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. To throw is Goff. Setting up the screen, this is Gibbs. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Back to throw, Goff. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Excellent defensive effort to get to him and provide a little contact before the catch could be made cleanly.
On 4th down, on is Jake Bates for the Lions field goal. From the right hash, this from 48. Bates' kick is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action. Now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
Brian Branch from the secondary in on the tackle.
Some teams like to start aggressive to begin a drive, but this is still what you expect to see in normal situations. Just call a simple run, get a few yards to begin the series, and set yourself up for something bigger on second down.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
Looking to throw is Williams. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on third down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
To throw, Williams. Steps away to his left. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on second down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for a first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just 1 first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
Here comes the Bears punter now. Back deep, Khalif Raymond. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Back onto the field come the Lions for their second overall drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Goff now looking to throw. A quick throw there is incomplete.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Goff. Finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
In motion goes Patrick. Now Goff. Into the hands of Patrick left side. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. From just across the midfield stripe, here's second down and 2. A shotgun snap for Goff. That throw taken in by Jamison Williams. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Now Goff. That is caught by Laporta. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there for Detroit. And even 40 yards.
That is the exact right play call against that defense. So a hat tip to the offensive play caller because he won that part of the chess match. But give credit to his players as well. They won the execution part of it.
Here's Goff. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Lions have taken the lead. The touchdown all set up by the big play one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play. Got the momentum going, right? You create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And Jahmyr Gibbs finished it all off with a touchdown grab. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And able to get this out to the 25. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Throwing is Williams. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down in bounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
To throw, it's Williams. And he comes back with one complete. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Here is 3rd down and 4. To the air, Williams. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have the Bears first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. Back in Chicago, ready for the 2nd quarter. It's the Bears in possession. The Bears on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Williams. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, it looks like they're going to get the football back again.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 15. They'll start things off with a give to Gibbs. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Here's a 2nd and 8. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Oh, the motion comes too late, and this is going to be a delay. And they'll accept that penalty. Goff. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. So the completion good for 6 yards. 3rd and 7 now. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
From the gun, here's Goff. That's to the tight end, Laporta. And he is going to have a Lions 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
1st down Lions on a pickup of 13. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Gibbs straight ahead, shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
Jalen Johnson up to make the tackle.
Felt me get a little jangly up there before that last play call, and then once it happened, I was like, oh, because it feels like almost a missed golden opportunity to take a shot in that position.
You think 1st and 5, maybe you go for a little more than a short run?
Almost a free down.
From the 44 now, here's 2nd and 4. Now a play fake, and it's Goff. And that'll be caught. It's St. Brown. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
When teams practice their plays during the week, they're hoping that it's going to pay off on game day. So it sure has to feel good for them when they hit them during a game, and they hit that one there for big yardage.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Montez Sweat. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Out of the gun, Goff. He gets this out wide to Gibbs. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Bates' kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the 2 teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Williams now throwing to start the drive. And a quick throw here that's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Williams. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
To the sideline and incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
The Bears on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he will have the Bears first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Going quickly out wide to Moore. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be 2nd down. Now a handoff running through the middle. And a short gain down to about the 33. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. Williams. Flushed out right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. 3rd down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out. But his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. 43 yards rushing for him now to this point.
I think that run gives us evidence that the defense is getting a little bit tired out there. They've been out in the field for a long time, and that last run, they just cut right through them.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. There they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bears are an extra point away from capturing the lead. Well, fair to say they've got something here in this rookie running back, and he's in for the 2nd time of the ball game.
And, Brandon, it's a position where there's often a lot of turnover, a lot of competition at that spot. But he's proven to them that he wants to be the bell cow guy that his franchise can rely on.
Santos now to add the PAT. And this puts him on top by a penny. It's 14-13. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told and was polished off by the touchdown run from the 16-yard line. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Lions offense and Jared Goff set to take over once more. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. Now a 2nd and 10. Now it's Goff. This is caught by Williams. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Goff and Williams hooking up there for a Lions first. In motion goes Patrick. Goff now to throw. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. He's trying to get it to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And now it's 2nd down. Throwing again is Goff. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
The best receivers we know always tease their quarterbacks, say, hey, no matter what you do, you cannot overthrow me. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened on that play. Normally, they time it up pretty well, but on that one, he just overshot him.
From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. That's complete to Laporta. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. It may just be the 2nd quarter, but he's in his zone well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. Looking to throw is Williams. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there, 2nd down.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it. An in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. To throw, Williams. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage. The drag route can be effective when it's run well.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Williams. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one goes for 24 yards. Back to throw again. He'll get this into the hands of Adunze. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down. They'll look to throw again. He's got the connection to Moore. They just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 23 yards, the final tally.
Not quite enough to get into the end zone, but what a nice play there. He makes the catch, tries to turn upfield and get to the pylon, but doesn't quite get there. But they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal from very short range.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
Well, no surprise there that he got the ball. When you've got 2 touchdowns already, you're probably demanding it in your own huddle. And you can bet this defense, though, is going to be keyed in on him at this point. And they did a nice job stopping him behind the line of scrimmage.
From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bears would extend their lead here just before halftime. That is a near-perfect end-of-half drive right there.
And we've seen that many times from the best in the league. But do you really expect to see it done that well by a rookie? And how about the timing? Finishing it almost near the zeros, as you said, right at the end of the half. Great momentum to carry into the locker room.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is up to 8. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Here comes Khalif Raymond from his end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
The Bears got a solid first half out of their quarterback, the #1 overall pick back in 2024, Caleb Williams. He connected on a touchdown pass in that first half, and that's a big part of why his guys lead at the break.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. It'll be Lions football to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Lions offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Goff. Throw out wide is incomplete. Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on to kick it away. This is taken around the 12. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
You would. And in your experience, how many times have we run into coaches where they've talked about, hey, we just want to put it in the hands of our defense and have them win the game? In this case,
yeah, not the case.
Not at all. You want to put it in the hands of your offense, but you always feel better about seeing defense because you think defense is a constant and offense kind of comes and goes. Today, this game, no, they need their offense to stay on a really hot level.
They've been hot so far. That stop made by Jack Campbell.
Well, partner, they've been running it well the entire game, and the big guys up front, they're a huge reason why. And now they're reaping the benefits as they continue to open up big holes and gain nice yardage.
On play action, here's Williams. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Williams from the gun on 3rd down. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on here to punt it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here. A little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games. And And we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the third quarter. Over the middle and taken in by Laporta. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Second down and 3. Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
Going back to Gibbs on first down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Ball on the 36 now. Here's second and a yard. Williams, a man in motion right. Oh, and they sent the man in motion too late. This is going to be a delay. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty.
Still second down.
Doesn't look to be any confusion here as they come up now on a 2nd and 6 following the delay of game. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. Play action. It's Goff. Blitz coming, and down he goes. T.J. Edwards from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
So now following the sack, Goff and the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And a good result there, as that'll get out of bounds and pin them back at their 10-yard line. The Chicago offense set to get started. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
To throw, it's Williams. And there's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And it'll be second down. Here's Williams. Quick hitter here. It's complete. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. Swift, going to try up the middle. Oh, nice move. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 57 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. 3-4 defense, and that O-line really dominated the D-line on that play.
And think of it this way. With a 3-4, you have a natural bubble over each guard because those guys don't have defenders over them. Oftentimes, if you want to run up the middle, they can get upfield and get on the linebackers right now, and that gives the running back a heck of a chance to get into the secondary. Now, that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. So from the 37, here's a 2nd and 4. From the gun, here's Swift. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Yeah, once more, strong running. Excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
They'll go play action here with Williams. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down. Throwing is Williams. Over the middle, complete. That's more. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 42. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. To the air, Williams. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. Throwing again here, Williams. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
So on 4th down, Cairo Santos on now for the Bears field goal. From the right hash, this from 53. Santos' kick is up and through, and the lead now 11, 24-13. That was perfect. From distance, he steps up, knocks it right down Main Street.
And Main Street's celebrating right now with him, aren't they? I love the mechanics of the whole thing. Snap, hold, everything was right on target, and the blocking was perfect, and he executed so well.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Another shot now for this Lions offense. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Second and 6, just inside the 30. Here's Goff. He's got right on the short throw. First target, first catch, and a first down. Goff. He's got right on the short throw. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that will bring up second down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Now Goff. Setting up the screen. This is Gibbs. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
The give right side for Gibbs. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. Out of the gun, Goff. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. So the completion good for just 3. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
They only need a yard here. 3rd down and 1 after the penalty. Now it's gone. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Now back to the ground. Here's Gibbs. And he'll get what he can up the middle. 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down. 2nd and 7. Goff. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
Now this drive, they're 2 for 2 on third down conversions, but they need 7 yards here. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Out is Jake Bates to try the field goal. This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt. Bates' kick is good, and that'll make this an 8-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
On 2nd down, here's the option. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. And that'll go for a gain of 18 on the keeper. 1st down. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 80 yards on the ground here for Swift. He's got a 1st down as well.
And that's the type of run that they're looking for because they'll need to continue to rely on him to move the sticks in this tight game in order to preserve this lead.
Looking to throw is Williams. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down for the Bears.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. To throw, Williams. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Well, I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield, and he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
But if you're going to have a relay race, you're probably going to pick your backs and receivers to run it, but don't underestimate the conditioning of the offensive line. They're out there just dictating things, staying on the field, and keeping a long drive going.
Facing a 2nd and 6 from the 8. Off the bootleg, it's Williams. Diving for the end zone, and the ball's knocked out. And this is scooped up by the Lions.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit, because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the 4th, a costly turnover. Detroit's offense ready to take over. And at this stage, in the 4th, they need to work this into the end zone. A field goal doesn't do much. We'll see if they can cash in following the fumble recovery. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Drive starts with a run from Gibbs. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. Here's Goff. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Goff to St. Brown for the Detroit first down. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Off play action. Here's Goff. He'll go right back to St. Brown. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. Goff now looks to throw. That's complete to Laporta. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. With that catch, he goes over 100 yards receiving on the night.
And that's a much-needed first down right there. Look, they're down by 8. So logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I'd put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a 4th down situation comes up, I'm thinking hard about going for it right here and right now.
Now Goff. He's got this to Williams, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, decided to make sure he toe-tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to deal with the sideline since you've got better vision of it.
I think that's a great point, because you should know exactly where you're going and know how much space you have and make sure you get your feet down. But, yeah, coming back to the football, I like it. Good vision.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. To throw is Goff. And that one going to be off target and incomplete. The Lions on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. They're looking at third and a few inches. Again, Goff. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Lions first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on third and inches.
They'd been moving the ball well, but this drive was in danger of stalling out. Fortunately, this is a nice throw here, and they're able to pick up a new set of downs.
Goff now to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's right. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. Here now, 2nd and 4. Goff now looking to throw. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Jamison Williams hauling that one in from Jared Goff. And the Lions have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. So part 1 of what they needed is done. They get in the end zone. Now you have to imagine we'll see a try for 2.
And that's what the book says, but defensively, they can't hang their head right here. They still got a chance to come out with the lead if they make a play.
All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Goff looking to throw. It's caught at the 1. And he will get into the end zone for 2. And this game now tied here in the 4th. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted the tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done. Get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. Up to midfield. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
Well, so much for the worry about how they would be after losing their lead. What a big-time return to seize the momentum back.
The Bears offense and running back DeAndre Swift headed back onto the field. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter. On the handoff, this is Swift. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. Another try, 2nd and 10 now. Here's Williams. 3rd and long coming up defensively. You pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. And if you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback and then make sure you blanket the field.
To throw, it's Williams. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Oh, boy, this sets up for a huge call now on 4th down because you can try the long field goal, You could go for it, or you could punt and play for overtime. I am so glad, partner, that I don't have to make those kind of decisions. Let's see what they decide.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The visitors' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Goff. And that's caught by Williams.
Bottom line, 2-yard gain's just not going to cut it in this situation. You've got to move the ball downfield in order to have a chance.
Defense will give them that the rest of the way. Here's 2nd down. Goff now to throw. Oh, look at this. It's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the 4th quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Majors used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. They are in field goal range here already. How do you handle this situation, tie game?
In a perfect scenario, you want to find a way to get the ball to the proper spot for your field goal kicker. They always have preferences. And you want to bleed the clock down so that when you do kick it, as the ball's going through the post,
zeros.
The clock hits zeros.
Here's 1st and 10. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Here we go, 1st and goal. Here's a handoff to Swift. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just 70 seconds left to go in the game. Now it's Swift. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. They'll run with Swift. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. DeAndre Swift taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Bears have broken this deadlock and have taken the lead here in the 4th.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now, on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
Santos with the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes. And he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. This is 1st and 10. Now Goff. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Just over 50 seconds remain. Here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Goff. That pass caught. It's Williams. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Oh, man, that could wind up being the key play of the ball game right there. Defensively here, you know they've got no timeouts. You've got to keep them away from the sidelines. Here, not only do they get the big yardage, but they get out of bounds as well.
Final minute, no timeouts at their disposal. Here's 1st and 10. He's back to throw. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
Now 1st and goal. They'll look to throw. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
Point after try forthcoming. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the touchdown and PAT mean we are tied here in the final minute of play. This one, all we could have asked for. All tied, final minute as the kick's away here. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Bears offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. Here's 1st down. They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he's going to pick up a first down here as that clock continues to run. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Two timeouts still in their back pocket. It's 1st and 10. Throwing is Williams. He's going to look deep for more. That is incomplete. They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. To the air, Williams. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
Working out of the gun, Williams. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions are giving him nowhere to go with the football. Maybe a little frustrated back there.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration. But now he's got to make sure that that frustration is temporary, not lingering. Big throw coming up.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. This will be fielded at the 17. And we've got free football. 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. We'll have overtime after this timeout. So it's the Bears who will have the first chance to win this thing as we are underway here in overtime. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Up past the 30, 2nd down coming up. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. Once again, it's Swift. Takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. Hoping to keep this OT drive alive. Now they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run here with Swift. And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down. Just looking down at this with a naked eye, looks like they have about 1.5 yards. Any chance they go for it here?
There's a chance, but I have to say, punt the ball here. Get rid of this thing and try and help your defense a little bit. I know there's that temptation, and I know people have it on their play sheet. I have that one play that'll get me what I need, but if you don't get it, you pretty much handed the game to the other team.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. First throw in overtime for Goff. He'll find Williams on the slant. This being their second opportunity in overtime, 3rd overall drive. See if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few first downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands, critical situation, now's their time.
And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. Montez Sweat, his 2nd sack of the night.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. And that one too wide and incomplete.
And this defense definitely in his head there on 3rd down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
Here comes the Lions punter now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Bears take over. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 149 yards rushing for him now as he's toted it 21 times. He continues to be dominant running the football. I mean, keep feeding him, right?
Yeah, you should, because what he's put up already is really like a 2-game total. Give him a lot of credit, but give the rest of the offense credit as well. The big guys up front and the receivers on the perimeter, everyone's getting involved blocking people downfield.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. He had a great strong move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. To throw, Williams. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 29-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Each team's had it in overtime, so next score wins. Here's second down. Now a carry for Swift. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
So here's Cairo Santos on the field goal try. And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And this home crowd is in a frenzy as their guys have pulled it out in the end. Well, things started off exciting. This one had a high-scoring first half, and nobody let their foot off the gas in the second half either, Charles. And, for them, a really nice victory in a high-scoring output.
You're right about that because so many times we'll see teams come out slow and take a while to get going, and points become a little bit harder to score near the end of games, as we know, because everyone tightens down. But no such issues in this game. The scoring started right away and held up at a steady clip the remainder of the game.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Bears get the win at home as we say so long from Soldier Field.